Hey guys, hey YouTube. We are back again. We've got another special edition from the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. So let's jump in and let's look at my card here, which I'm not looking at right now. And we can have some fun. What, guys? Drum roll, please, guys. Okay, what is this? A box inside a box. What is this, Russian nesting dolls? So this is the box. It said it's from Greensboro, North Carolina. This box looks like it's older than me. Oh wait, 1940. All right, so I'm gonna be super careful. I have kind of an oblong, almost looks like a teardrop shape. A soft bead, it's really cool to the touch, shiny. It looks like it has concentric circles around the top and kind of like a muted purple. And I really, really want you guys to take a look at that. Isn't that neat? Look how pretty that is. No drill hole, so it's not a bead. Since it's white on the bottom, I'm gonna guess that this could be some sort of pearl or carved shell. It looks like a mint, like a dinner mint. I'm gonna say that this is a shell. We're gonna pull in one of my fellow gem lovers and gemstone experts, Eric. So Eric's gonna come talk to us and he's gonna tell us all about what this is and he's gonna tell me if I'm right or wrong. YouTube, say hi to Eric Fritz. Eric, say hi to YouTube.
Hello YouTube, how are you today?
A lot of fun people watching today. So can you tell me a little bit about what I have in my hand? I thought it was either probably a shell, potentially a pearl.
So you made excellent observations, which is the key to being a good gemologist.
Guys, listen to that. Excellent observations. Okay.
You mentioned having concentric circles, which would be a key indicator for something carved out of a shell.
Okay.
These are not really concentric circles, but color banding.
So we have the luster, which looks different. You talked about the color banding. I still think this is shell. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you were wrong.
I was wrong. Okay, then I'm stumped.
You've mentioned pearls several times.
Doesn't it look like a pearl though?
This is a natural pearl.
Stumped, completely, totally stumped. Why is this a pearl? Because I thought for sure with the luster it was different.
Pearls are cultured and they have this really nice luster from aragonite crystals that make up the pearl surface.
Okay.
This type of pearl doesn't form in the same way.
Yeah,
this one is actually the same aragonite that we have in our cultured pearls, but it also has regular calcite making up the matrix. And that gives us this more porcelain type finish rather than the luster that we typically think of in a pearl.
Okay, so you mentioned cultured pearls. So can we do, just for our viewers really quick, difference between natural and cultured pearl?
Absolutely. So a cultured pearl by definition is anything where man has had his hand in the actual production. What they do is they grow the oysters, which will eventually produce these pearls in a very healthy environment, and they'll usually put a tiny bead with a piece of tissue from another type of shellfish, which the host sees as an invasion, and all it knows to do is to start manufacturing shell material over the top of that parasite or invaded host. It will potentially form over and over in layers in a very nice environment, and in anywhere from 3 to 9 years, depending on the type pearl, we get the pearl as we know it.
What I was curious about when I first saw this was that beautiful purple.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about the color banding on this? Because I have never seen that in a pearl before.
Whatever the host animal is, whatever colors are found in that shell can produce that color pearl.
Okay, so there was something purple in this shellfish.
I would say that would be very good observation.
Something purple, okay, cool.
And maybe for a little more of a visual.
You have another box?
We'll give you another box.
All right, so I'm gonna give this back to you. Hey, one question, why would you not drill that?
So natural pearls are actually quite valuable, and if we went to a saltwater cultured pearl, they take much longer to grow. A freshwater pearl, you could have up to 15 growing at any one time in one shell. Whereas a saltwater cultured pearl, you're only gonna be able to culture one at a time, and it's gonna take 5 to 7 years.
All right, Eric. You have another box,
I have another
which is kind of
box.
fun because we usually only have one box on this show. Did you know that?
I thought we maybe needed extra boxes to tell this story.
Oh, wow! This is so pretty. You know, when I was a little kid, we'd go to the beach and I would look for shells like this, but they never looked this good.
So let's open the shell up and take a look inside. This is what we would call a bivalve shell. So the animal would actually live within and hold the two halves together.
Okay,
And what
so-
do we see?
Purple. You'd have the animal in here, though.
You would have the animal in there.
And you'd be able to see, the purple here and the purple there. So this pearl came from this.
Not this exact shell, but it came from this species. Most of our gemstones that we commonly think about are the result of geological formations and come from the earth. Anything that's considered an organic gemstone has been aided with or is a byproduct of a living organism. Pearls may have been the original gemstone because they basically form ready to wear. These nice pearls are preserved from these shells because these are actually being harvested by man for a food source. Which brings us back to the box. This was returned to the customer who lived in Morehead City, which is on the coast, and is known for clam fishermen. In my 20s, I spent a lot of time on the coast, and I would actually go out and harvest these for making my own chowders. I could go and get exactly what I needed for that night's meal, just like the early hunter-gatherers.
Cool.
Take it home, cook them fresh, and I was known for my really, really good clam chowders.
All right, what's the secret to a good clam chowder?
I'm sorry, I can't share that.
When you go clamming, are you looking for pearls or your dinner?
We're all adventurers at heart, so
True.
we're always hopeful that we find that pearl hidden inside. I have seen third-generation clam fishermen who have handfuls of beautiful natural pearls. Some of the fishermen up there that do this every day, that the season's open and have for maybe 2 to 3 generations, let's say 100 years, would be lucky to have one round. Something that size would be in the thousands of dollars value-wise. Even though it doesn't have luster, if this were sent off to a lab for a report on it, they would do an X-ray to see that there's no bead nucleus. And with a certificate that claimed it being natural, then the value really becomes significant. The fact that this doesn't have luster, laboratories call this a non-nacreous concretion. I don't think anyone would buy a piece of jewelry that was called a concretion.
No,
it
that's
sounds
not
like a
very
gallstone or
It
something.
does. It sounds like
And
a medical
basically
term.
the same composition of this as a gallstone.
If you're at a jewelry store, you can't just look inside this and you can't cut it open. How can you tell in a quick and easy way natural versus cultured?
This has become one of the greatest challenges in gemology. Traditionally, as we mentioned earlier, a bead, which is usually carved out of a shell, and the reason we can tell that is it does have those concentric bands, so they can do an X-ray, much like we get it when we go to the dentist. I've actually had friends that have taken pearls to their dentist and had them do an X-ray to look for that bead nucleus. The tricky part comes in once a pearl has been harvested from the shellfish. They can actually put a second bead in, or they can actually put a tiny piece of that invasive tissue. The pearl will continue to grow based on the fact that it already has the pearl sac mechanism where the first pearl was cultured.
Can we just jump in and tell me a little bit more about organics? What are some other examples of organics, and what's your favorite organic?
I'm still partial to corals. They are actually a living animal. Other organics, some are not so nice on the market in these days. We all know about elephant ivory and, of course, the fossil material, which is mammoth ivory. We, as an industry, have taken a stand that no ivory is good ivory anymore.
I agree,
because
yeah.
we want to preserve our living creatures. And the pearls, often I get comments, especially in this day and time, about whether pearls are socially acceptable or not. And my personal feeling, I'm a trained zoologist, and I think they are. They're farmed just like any other shellfish that we might consume for food. All parts of the product are used. The pearls that are not valuable as gemstones are ground and used in cosmetics and even antacids and different medicines.
We talked about that in another unboxing. I have actually had makeup with pearl in it.
If you like pearls, there's really no problem with wearing those.
Love pearls. I have a pair of earrings that my grandmother gave me, and she has the exact pair. I wear them almost every single day.
You can wear them with jeans and a t-shirt. They look fantastic. You can wear it out to the opera. It looks equally as fantastic. My lanyard that I keep my loop on when I'm
that's
teaching
cool.
class, I have a very organic, dark Tahitian strand that I wear. I don't know if it's my deep Southern accent, but nobody really gives me a hard time. One of the most interesting things about pearls, Mikimoto, who was responsible for learning to culture pearls on a commercial level. Every pearl had to be perfectly round. Any that weren't, he was known to burn them or to crush them. He was also known to eat a pearl every day. It was more about the story from Mikimoto.
Have you ever done that yourself?
I did one time, just to say I could.
Did you hurt your teeth? Or did you
It was a small one and I swallowed it whole.
Would you do that again?
I feel like once was enough. It really didn't have any big effect.
Your favorite thing about pearls, go.
The fact that you can have a parasite invade the body of a shellfish and the shellfish takes it into its own actions, coats it over, and it becomes realistically probably one of the most beautiful things on earth.
All right, Eric, so on our unboxing, we like to do a closer look. So grab either the shell or the pearl, and I want you to hold it up to that camera right there and tell our viewers what they need to take a closer look at.
So the most interesting thing for me is the gradation in color. It goes from almost a perfectly white tip to a dark purple, back to a more mauve-shaped purple, and then down to perfect white. And to me, this really adds interest because it's got a multifaceted effect.
Hey, if you liked this episode, go check out my friend Physics Girl's video all about the magic Russian diamond. It has some really cool optical and magnetic properties. If you haven't seen the video or subscribed to her channel, make sure you go and do that. I've left the link in the description below.
So today was super cool having Eric, and I definitely learned a lot, but I want to hear what you had to say. Comment below and let me know what you want to learn more about in the future, and what do you think Eric should bring next time. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more fun from the Tucson Gem and Minerals show. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.